Welcome back to the Dictate the Game podcast. I am your host, Dom, and I don't have any Football Manager names, but everyone else here does. And I am joined by my normal, this is a pretty stable four we've got going here. I've got Guy, aka FM Vars.
Hello.
I've got Pelham, aka FM Tahiti.
All right.
And I've got Paul, aka FM the Northman, or just the Northman.
Just the Northman. But
I was trying to make it consistent, okay? I was trying to make it cool.
I'm sorry. I don't want FM in my name. That ties you down. I mean, FM's all I can be bothered to do, but yeah.
Gives you the freedom if you ever get that motivation that you've been lacking for the last.
Exactly. I'm free to just move on.
I mean, you won't though, will you?
No, I won't. No chance.
Right, so this won't make much sense to everyone else listening, but we're recording this on Friday, the 20th of September, and the new features for Football Manager 2020 were released yesterday, was it?
Yes!
And we recorded a podcast on Wednesday, thinking, oh, they've just announced some stuff and they showed some screenshots, and there was the Arsenal edition and all that. And we thought, oh, great, we'll get a podcast out and then we'll put that up on Sunday. And then they released a whole new features. So we're now re-recording, and we've got Guy this time. Guy wasn't here last time we recorded this, but also we can just grill him with a bunch of his opinions and stuff, and we can just repeat ourselves, right?
Sounds good.
Yep,
good.
Sounds perfect. And probably not because we spend the whole podcast going, I wonder if it's this, and I wonder if it's that. Well, now we have most of the answers. So,
Well, I did call quite a few things. Yeah,
exactly. We did get. You were pretty accurate.
I actually worked for Football Manager. See, that's the trick. But yeah, right. Okay, we'll start firstly with the Arsenal edition. Okay, Guy, did you hear about this? They released an Arsenal edition of Football Manager this year. It's got all the licensing.
Can you imagine if Guy now responds with, "Oh yeah, I've not seen any of the features."
Yeah. I don't really follow a Football Manager that much. Not really. No, yeah, I did see that. Yeah.
And what did you make of it?
Seems like a waste of money to me.
Okay, good. We're all in agreement on that one, right? That's fine. I think we did say at the time as well. We said, "Oh, don't worry, Guy will agree with everything we would say anyway." So, yeah. And then I made the joke and said, "He's a pretty nice guy."
I am the yes man of the group, to be fair.
Oh, I do remember that joke.
That was a good one.
I did
like it.
That
was good. Yeah. I thought, right, okay, so we're done with that. The Arsenal thing, it's a bit pointless. Get someone to mod it for you. You're paying the same price anyway. Doesn't matter. Capiche? We can move on from that. Well, let's get into the new stuff. Whoa. Right, so if you guys got the article up in front of you, I'm going to put a link to it in the description of the podcast. But for now, we're going to go through.
Just say make sure you head over to our website. The podcast will be in MP3 format on the website, on the post, as well as on the homepage on the side. I'll make sure that is fixed this week. I'll do it myself.
All right, we're going to do that. We're going to do that. So, first feature I want to talk about is the development center. Now, this is I'm quite excited for this. A big part of my Football Manager saves is developing youngsters and having good regens and kind of watching players progress through the seasons. And in the article, there's a new feature which is the one that everyone was kind of umming and ahhing about what it's going to be about. And it is I said pretty much word for word. It's going to be like a development list, and it's got features on players out on loan, players in your reserves teams, your youth candidates, your staff working on it. And it seems like they're putting a lot of progress or a lot of effort into changing the way that you keep an eye on youngsters and stuff. Has anyone got any first thoughts on the matter?
Love it. Absolutely love it. I think it's going to add so much in terms of detail when you're making videos or writing posts. You're not just promoting someone to your first team and sticking them in the mentoring group or adding a little bit of individual training. It looks like there's a lot more of a pathway, a lot more of a way of monitoring them, a lot more depth in the path of your players from that 16-year-old region coming through to being that 25-year-old superstar. It just adds so much, and I'm really looking forward to seeing how I can implement that into my videos, to be honest with you. I mean, to be honest, Dom, to be honest.
Well, were you going to lie, though?
I thought about it. Were
you going to just be like... Pelham, what do you think?
I'm liking the look of it. The only thing that I'm worried about is in the development center, there's a bit where you can preview the youth intake. So you can see ahead of time what you're going to get. But if you're essentially in the lower leagues, you're just going to get depressed a few months earlier.
But I like that. I like that though, because that's realistic. When I was with Beckham, I would always go and watch the under 14s play because you know when they turn 15, they're old enough to play for the first team.
It'll be good for that. It'll definitely be good for planning. It's just, I guess, as well as like Christmas feel. If there's suddenly like, yeah, there's a golden generation coming, you've got to hold on. And if it happens to be a really disappointing golden generation, it's going to be a really big, a big kind of dip for you. There'll be some sort of FM depression.
But I'll tell you what, Guy. One thing I wonder is with what FM Tahiti's saying there about previewing your intake, does that mean there's maybe potential that the staff you maybe have more staff for that area of the game as well? Maybe
Could make an impact, I imagine. Yeah, like I don't know. First of all, I completely agree with what you said. Like I think it's going to add so much in terms of youth development and keeping an eye on, giving players an arc of, okay, so this year you're going to be in the under 19s, then we're going to send you out on loan, and then when you come back from your loan, you're going to be in the first team, that kind of thing. Planning ahead, which is something that I do in my saves anyway, really, is kind of have a general idea of when people are going to come in and when they're not. But yeah, I really like the way they're taking it. It seems like they've done a lot of research around talking to people actually involved in the game and kind of getting their idea on how this would actually work. So
yeah, I mean, for me, I mean, just to put my point across a bit more, because this is honestly the feature I'm absolutely buzzing about. I hope, as well as your head of youth development, who influences a lot of like the personality, for example, of maybe some of your intake, I'm hoping you can maybe have a couple of junior coaches as well, not under 19 coach, but completely separate. And that again influences the intake. But when you're viewing potential, my hope is if you make for example, we are in November and I get the board to get a new affiliate link, does that mean potentially we get one or two players from that nation maybe coming in to the club, and like they pop up in that next intake which is coming in a few months' time? All of these questions it's exciting leading up to Tahiti.
That is really cool, actually. If you could do that, because it does kind of happen at the moment, doesn't it? If you've got those affiliates, you sometimes get those nationalities coming through.
Yeah, exactly.
But it'd be better to control it. And it's the same with, like you're saying, with the youth coaching. At the moment, it's just a category rating, isn't it? You've got good or bad youth coaching. It'd be good to actually say, well, I want model professionals coaching everyone, so they come through as sort of robot players for you,
or at least more likely to be. You can't guarantee it, but it's definitely more likely.
Yeah.
Well, did you see Miles tweeted out on his Twitter the other day that they're going to be more dynamic in terms of the new gen's kind of personalities and stuff like that, and they can change more, and it's going to have more of an impact this year, I think he said.
Okay, that sounds promising.
Let me see if I can pull that up.
It does feel a bit like you end up with basically like one of like about 3 different types of regens, either like absolutely amazing, they're absolutely dog shit, or they're kind of balanced. And I feel sometimes you get. I think they added some new personality traits this year. Things like mercenary and
I like that one.
What was the other ones? Oh, there was a couple of other ones, but I'm trying to remember.
Model citizen. There's like a model citizen one, isn't there?
I thought that's been around for a while.
Or maybe I just don't get any.
There was a couple of weird ones, like it wasn't pacifist, but it was something like I can't remember.
I've got FM up and I'll have a look.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember. Oh, Jesus Christ! Right, let's. Okay, so that's the.
Well, I'll just drop this. Miles said, as requested on our suggestion forums, new gens can now have more dynamic personalities that change over time depending on more circumstances in the game. So it sounds like there's going to be a lot more going on with new gens and youth development rather than just stick them in a mentoring group and hope that they get better, sort of thing.
Spineless. You can have Spineless as a personality.
Spineless. Wow.
That's pretty horrific. But, perfectionist, yeah. Model citizen's always been like the best one, isn't it? Or perfectionist. I can't really remember. Anyway, right, we're getting off track. Right, so that was the development center. That's a big plus for me. The next one was the club vision. Now, Paul, if you're not following Paul on YouTube, please follow FM, not FM, just the Northman on YouTube. And whilst you're following him, also go and follow FM20 and follow our YouTube channel, because we produce some decent content, I'd say. So, but anyway, Paul's already done a video on this. So basically, you're just repeating yourself at this point, right?
I mean, I think so, but I can't really remember what I said. So
okay,
I could end up saying I really liked something which I actually didn't.
That's really quite worrying, actually.
It's all right,
we'll move over it.
Well, the only way people will know is if they watch both, which they need to do.
Exactly.
Which they do need to do. The next point is club visions. Now that's under the board settings. There's some stuff on the club's culture and your 5-year plans and your visions and things like that. Have you guys seen the screenshots? What do you guys think about the way that? I mean, it's quite similar in the sense that it's still, the same as the old systems where you get targets and you have to do them. But I quite like the way that they've kind of given you, by the end of the season we want you to do this, but you've got another 5 years to try and get promotion or to try and win a cup or something like that.
Yeah, again,
I like it. Go on, Guy.
I was just going to say, it seems like they're adding more realism again. Like, you wouldn't go into a job, not that I've got any experience of it, but I can't imagine they would give a manager or, you have to achieve this in a season or that's it, like you're sacked. There's a lot more long-term thinking going on in football now. And this just seems to add more realism to the game in that sense. Some of my friends were saying like, it doesn't really appeal to the more casual player because you're not going to be at a club for 5 years or whatever. You're going to be there for 2 or 3 seasons and then move on, kind of thing. I think it more appeals to us, like the guys who play it all the time. It's a lot more in depth for us, kind of thing. So there's a lot more going on. But yeah, it just seems like another step in the right direction for me. Excited to sort of see what that can bring to the game.
I think I'd be telling the casuals just to go and play FM Touch and shut up.
Yeah.
I mean, or go and play. Or if you still complain, and go and play FIFA and leave the real games to the real men.
Okay, right. Well, I don't think you said that in your video, did you?
I think so. No, I don't think I did. I like it. I like one of the things I like is each year they seem to improve the inbox and the availability of information. And on the final screenshot on footballmanager.com, the final screenshot shows some feedback from the board and the fans, giving their opinion on how you were doing. And I like that. I think that's a nice little touch. In terms of the boardroom side of things, I've got to worry it's going to be very much the same as the old FM's, very repetitive. But we'll see how that goes. In terms of getting told you have 5 years to win promotion or whatever, and seeing that in front of you, I guess that's nice because it gives you an idea of how much the board kind of expect things maybe too early, or if they're very lenient. You get to see that for yourself, and you're not going to get sacked 2 seasons in when you miss promotion, which is nice.
I think this is going to really help stop, people stop talking to themselves about stuff. Because one of the things I always do is when I'm playing like a long-term game, it's that frustrating bit where you can't really join the dots behind the scenes with what the board are doing. So it's kind of, why are they angry at me? It might be because of this, it might be because of that. You can actually, it's because I promised them the moon on a stick, and I've got knocked out in the first round of every cup. I've not been anywhere near a playoff position for about 5 years. It kind of helps that. It also helps you sort of, I kind of hate the term, but like shape the narrative of it. Because this is the kind of conversation you might have in your head when you're in the shower, trying to justify to this kind of imaginary board that this is my plan. This is what I'm going to do. At least it kind of gets it out there and gets it down
Yeah.
on paper, so you can at least be judged by it, especially if you overperform. Because I think a lot of maybe not the casual players, but as proper players, probably overperform quite quickly. It'd be good to be kind of reassess
God, I
all
wish.
that.
Paul doesn't. But
Jesus, hey, overperforming. Like, yeah, I finished mid-table instead of bottom half.
Yeah, that's definitely overperforming.
That's why I always say on my videos, thank you. I always say that.
Yeah. I mean, it's not
Oh.
quite overperforming getting 11 players in your team of the week.
Yeah,
oh,
well,
I
I
get
don't
to,
cheat.
yes, I didn't cheat. I swear, I got 11 players in the team of the week,
But
And it
that's,
wasn't
that's
the-
not one of the
and it-
goals.
and it wasn't the only fixture of the week as well. It was a full week.
It was one
And
of
I
two,
had-
and the other one was a 0-0 draw.
To be fair, it was the only game with more than 2 goals. So yes, it was pretty easy to get it. But yes. Anyway, I'll bring that up again later. Don't worry. But one of the new features is also going with the 5-year plans from the board. You can do the same with players this year. So you can turn around and say in contracts, you can say, okay, you'll be like a squad, maybe a rotation player in your first season, and then next year I'll move you up to a key player or a regular or something like that. That's as part of the which features that?
Pathway.
Yeah, that's the one. That's the one. So there's some there's new squad roles. So there's things like star player, fringe player, emergency backup, breakthrough prospects, things like that, which I think is quite nice. It's a bit more realistic, should we say, because it was in Football Manager this year, it's just the hot prospect, rotation, first team backup, and key player, and that was about it. So it's quite nice to have a bit more kind of in betweens. I guess
I guess we hoping this will prevent a lot of the complaining within Football Manager, the messages from your backup player that he's not going to football and stuff. Hopefully that is part of them tweaking that side of the game, which it's only a positive tick for me. Tick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's this feels like, to me anyway, one of those things where they've renamed something for no particular reason. Like they did this last year with the defensive centre back and defensive fullbacks. They renamed them to No Nonsense. I mean, they have added stuff. Like, I think I suppose it's just a bit more detail, isn't it? But like I like the fact that they've got like a impact sub and stuff like that you can set people as. But yeah, it just feels like renaming for renaming's sake, to some extent, for me anyway.
I think it's just a bit about giving the game a bit more of a fresh feel, because I feel like sometimes it gets a bit stagnant, and then we've kind of seen this. Like, even if it's basically the same thing, it's nice just to have a little bit of a change, just so you can say, okay, I'm playing a different game. There's slightly different terminology and there's slightly different categories. It's I don't mind that. They can't change everything every year.
I don't know that. I think this is more of a control thing, in that, like the Northman was saying, with players complaining, at least you can tell them what your vision is. So when you sign that kind of wonder kid that in a couple of seasons is going to be banging them in, but they're not going to get into the first team straight away, you can at least kind of stop them from sliding away or moaning about stuff. Yeah, you can just manage it a little bit better. And also you can give someone a really depressing squad status like emergency backup when you're kind of punishing them.
Try and force them out or something as well.
Yeah.
Like say that, well, you're not going to play, so
there you go.
Might as well leave. Yeah, I suppose.
That's one way.
Well, you've won me round. I've changed my mind.
Success. End of the pod. Good day.
There we go. No, guy's always a guest man, so it doesn't matter. And then last, we've got a couple of things. We've got backroom staff. This is where your assistant or your analysis or your coaches or whoever will suggest squads for you to use this week and some substitutions and things like that, which seems quite nice, I guess.
It's more the box I'm interested in. Where
on the tactics screen.
You can now select every box, and it basically will say, oh, this area of the pitch is working well because of this player and this player linking in this kind of way. Or this part of the pitch isn't successful because you have your wide man on support and your attacker on attack, so they form a massive gap. I like that. I think it's going to add a bit of depth. It's going to help the casual player. So yeah, it's a nice little feature. That probably something I'm going to use and probably show on videos as well, and no doubt in articles people will show it because it's a way to show your tactic a little bit more.
Yeah, I think it's a good way to sort of analyze your tactic a bit more as well, and sort of look at it in depth, see where it's working well and where it's not, and sort of if you notice trends happening in games where you're conceding from similar positions or whatever, then you can have a look at it and say, oh yeah, you haven't got a good influence here or whatever because of this player not interacting well with this player, or your roles are wrong or something like that. So I think, yeah, certainly for people who don't know the game inside out, it's only going to be helpful, really.
Definitely. I think when you try new combinations as well, play roles you've never really touched because they sound too fancy for you or something like that. It'd be good to see how they link up.
That's something that I'm doing at the minute in my save on 19. I've started using the Raumdeuter because I just wasn't getting the influence from the sort of inside forwards that I'm using in my tactic. That piece went up on today, the day we're recording, so that'll be Friday once the pod's out. If anyone wants to check that out, I'm doing it's on dictatethegame.com. Get the plug in there. And
thanks for doing my job for me.
Yeah, you're welcome. It's a vertical tiki-taka that I've been using with Atalanta, and it worked really well defensively, but not so well going forward, which I found quite unusual, really. So yeah, I've been playing around with a Raumdeuter to try and just get a bit more attacking influence. But yeah, something like that they're bringing in now would definitely be really good when used with sort of new roles. It will give you an idea of how well it's working and whether it's working or not.
I think the only thing that I'm not even worried about, just pessimistic about, is this idea that their advice, like the backroom advice, is going to be any better than it has been in the past. Like my assistant manager's still thick. He's still telling me
overrun in midfield.
Overrun, you should be passing it short. No, they can't.
5-0 up.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh dear.
Yeah.
And then lastly, there's the generic graphic updates. I mean, this is just kind of yearly.
Incredible.
Oh my god, they've changed so much.
They look so good.
You could see buttons on the shirt, on the jacket properly. You could see the little clip on the tie. I mean, I was impressed.
Oh, it's got shoelaces.
Exactly, it's amazing.
Does he? Or they're not actual laces though. They're not the physics of a lace,
I did pause for quite a while on my video trying to work out the difference of the dry grass pitch to the wet grass pitch.
I did see that.
I can see it's slightly darker, but that's all.
It could just be darker grass, It doesn't.
Exactly. I mean, it's just...
Can't you see the puddles?
They're puddles. Oh yeah,
as well.
It kind of looks like your screen's dirty.
Where's the puddle?
Sure, I just wiped my screen thinking it was that. It kind of is, but it's just a kind of. There's one on the centre pitch, and there's one by the penalty spots and the goals.
I thought they were just dirt marks on the pitch. Because if you go on the dry grass pitch, them marks are there as well.
Then they're not as prominent, though, in my opinion.
That's once it's dried up. That's when the puddles have gone.
That's what it is. That's what it is.
And I wonder if they'll actually sort out regen faces. We can only hope. But
I've seen some pictures. Did you see? I saw a couple of pictures shared from people who took screenshots, and it looked all right. They looked a bit better.
Can you send me some of those pictures so I can?
I can. I will send you it. It's on. You know that Debsky who did the skins.
Oh, I used to love Debsky's. Debsky's World of Hairstyles.
On his Facebook group, he shared a picture saying it looks like they've been improved. Maybe I should make a return this year.
You should.
So, yeah.
Definitely. He's a great guy in the community. I've always loved his stuff from the last couple of years, but he didn't do it last year or the year before, did he?
2016 he was his last one.
Blimey.
Yeah, that was my response as well.
Did he not do a 17? I swear he did 17.
He said first time since 2016.
Oh.
Yeah. Just messaged my girlfriend to give me a kebab roll, just in case people are listening to the podcast.
Did anyone... Wait, can I just get, by way of applause, did anyone actually care that Paul's girlfriend was getting him a kebab?
Oh, no, she hasn't confirmed if she's going to. I'm just saying I've asked her to.
Yeah.
Did anyone care?
Thanks, guys.
Did anyone care? No. Do you know why?
Because you can't go on yourself?
Yes.
Oh, I could go and get kebab myself. I could just leave now and leave the podcast and, just... Honestly.
I mean, you did it earlier on in the podcast.
Yeah, I was letting a friend in. All right, he's surprising my flatmate, so I let him into the
Yeah, well, come on. Next topic. Stop going
Well,
off
that's-
topic.
Oh, you're having a go at me for going off topic. I'm up to
Wow.
here with you, honestly,
Wow,
Paul.
here we go. I'm going to tell Ben.
Oh God, we're not right. Moving on from the FM 2020 stuff, is there anything else you want to say about FM 2020 before we kind of move on to the site and the community and stuff like that?
Yes, I want to say I'm very excited.
Yes.
Okay.
Second.
I'm feeling quite
Stupidly excited. You know, like I wake up and look at the date and I'm like, shit, it's so long
I
away.
kind of didn't realize how close it was. Really,
It
it's
just
only,
feels
yeah,
far
only
away
like
though
3
now.
weeks till the beta, and I'm
Mhm.
still enjoying my 19 save, which is kind of worrying. I need to sort
And
of,
your 18 save as well.
and I'm playing that right now as we speak.
It's amazing.
Oh, you playing with your friends? You on your
Yeah.
Spurs save?
Yep.
I wish I had friends.
Yeah, we can only. Well, I've only
No,
got 3, and I'm
We
playing.
wish you had better Wi-Fi. That's the reason.
Actually, me and Guy tested my Wi-Fi before you finally come to the pod. And Guy, you were impressed?
It's pretty good. Yeah. What was it? 20 meg? You said?
20 meg, yeah.
Very impressive.
Wow,
I know.
20 whole megabytes.
Wow. Move on.
Anyway, right. So that's FM20. Now let's talk about the website and the community and a couple of things like that. So
What
this week
website?
on the website, what website?
What's
This is
the
obviously
address?
dictatethegame.com.
Oh, that
We
one.
post usually about 3 times a week. Usually Monday, Wednesday, Friday with a Sunday podcast, but obviously we're kind of mixing it up with the 2020 stuff coming out. This week we had an article from Guy, which he mentioned earlier. It was his Atalanta, sorry, because it's
Quite all
an
right.
Atta. Anyway, and that was I quite like that. That was good. I like your tactical stuff. It was quite nice because obviously you've done the whole Moneyball stuff with it. We haven't really talked much about the actual tactic you're using for it, which is quite nice.
Yeah.
It-
It is a bit different for me. I've done tactical pieces in the past, like my Jose Mourinho one that I did. That
Mhm.
I feel like that's one of my one of the best pieces I've written, to be honest. So it's kind of like back to the roots before the sort of data stuff got involved, I guess.
Yeah, it's nice, really nice. And then we've also got we have the features obviously from this week, and then Luke put up 5 lower league teams to manage. Did he fix it, Paul?
No,
Did
it's
he
still
fix the
quite
article yet?
dirty, to be honest with you.
Okay,
I
all
wouldn't
right.
bother
Well,
checking it out. What I would say is his post about the features is really well written, and we are one of the few websites who didn't just copy off footballmanager.com. So fair play to Luke for that one.
yeah, that was a bit of a controversy, wasn't there, with a couple of people trying to just get the easy clicks, and because I mean, I typed in FM20 features on Google, and the actual Football Manager article was like 7th or 8th down. There's just so many.
It was amazing how quickly some
Bizarre.
sites. I won't name and shame sites, but they know who they are.
Mhm.
And just it's just lazy
Yeah.
writing when you just copy and paste the whole thing. So we've got to praise Luke, who jumped on it on the day within a couple of hours and got a whole post written himself, not just copy and pasted. So yeah, I mean, fair play to him, especially after that low league manager disaster. He redeemed himself with me.
Yeah, I think it's a great article. I think it's very nice that we haven't just kind of jumped on the bandwagon and just kind of chucked things up as this the second they come out, and we've kind of tried to focus on quality over just kind of the kind of clicks and the getting
That's
people
what you
enticed.
get at dictatethegame.com.
It's good quality, low quantity. No, it's decent quantity. I feel like we upload quite regularly.
I think so.
It's pretty, yeah.
It's a nice stable system. I think I've always praised the schedule that we've got at the site with all the writers and stuff. I think it works really, really well.
But I'm glad I can be a part of it.
Yeah, now you're here to ruin it all, so that's good.
Harsh.
It's not though, is it? Really?
No, not really.
So there you go. Right, now we're going to do our little. Well, we were going to talk about. Should we talk about? Oh, I'm going to just push the boat out here. No, all right, okay, never mind.
I don't know what you're saying. I'm just.
I was going to talk about FM base.
Yeah.
But do we want to touch on that quickly, Paul? Do you want, I can just imagine him like going red and like steaming in the ears because he's just like so ready to just kind of explode.
I'm slightly annoyed at the fact that I tried to go onto their website earlier, and it said, well, the screen was properly grey in terms of I couldn't really read the text unless I squinted, and I thought that's weird. And it said at the top, do you want to allow notifications? Do you want to, like how some websites want to have permission to notify you of stuff? So obviously I said no, because I don't want to, when I'm recording a video, I don't want my internet to beep when something pops up. It's not because I don't want just their site to notify me about something.
Yeah.
I thought clicking that off would have then released the website so it's visible. It turns out that you have to have ad blocker turned off to view their site. And that pissed me off, because I think you should have everything should be a choice. Yes, they want to make money. Okay, that's fine. But are you in it just to make money? Did you set up this website just to make money? If the answer is yes, then tell us that. Don't claim to be like the center of the community and then force you into how you have your internet settings. I don't have ad blocker. I have ad blocker, because a lot of the stuff I'll go and watch football highlights and stuff, them websites spam the living daylight out of you with ads. It just drives me insane. And I mean, they've already brand new website, but just come back into the community. And in the first few days of relaunching the website, the first thing they did was threw the premium into our faces. Sign up for premium so you can download as much as you want. Sign up to premium so you have faster downloads. Sign up to premium so you can have a signature on the forum. Piss off. I want to just go onto your forum, reply to somebody, and have my own signature, my own logo, my own image, like you can on every other forum. Why would I sit on their forum now when I can just go to FM Scout or Sort It Out C and not get all of that shit rammed down my throat? Completely disagree with how they've done it. We spoke about it on Twitter. We had a civilized discussion about it. And yeah, I don't agree with what they're doing. I can have that opinion. I don't care if they agree or disagree. That's my opinion on it. I'm sure many people have the same opinion as me. I'm sure many people don't. That's fine. Let's move on.
Okay, that was
I could listen to you rant all day, Paul.
honestly, it's actually quite relaxing. I find it quite
honestly, yeah.
Getting into a rhythm.
I wasn't ranting. I was just putting my opinion across about
Well,
the
Yeah. We know what you're doing.
Whatever it
Real.
is, just keep it coming. I love it.
Can we just get him to, when you get like famous people to like, just talk about random stuff for like 3 minutes without hesitating or, repeating or umming and ahhing. Like, I think we could get Paul to be that on absolutely anything, and I could just listen to it for hours.
Oh,
Sounds
thanks,
good to me.
Dom.
So that was our, our not so favorite people in the community. But this week we've been.
I don't dislike them. Can I just say I don't dislike them? I don't know the people.
Moving on to something slightly more positive, should we say, in the football manager community. Wholesome, yeah, or organic. I used that word a lot in the podcast before, but this is. We were talking about other content producers that we like in the community and stuff that we've been looking at recently. Now, Pelham, did you mention a YouTube account called, was it Avoiding Relegation or something like that?
Avoiding Relegation on YouTube. It's a nice channel. So he's got a series called Pork Pie Sausage Roll. Because it's based on the song Pork Pie Sausage Roll, Come on Oldham, Give Us a Go. And he's got a really good intro that uses the chant, which is one of my favourite things. It's very to the point, but got a lot of character. And really good YouTuber, really good presence. You could listen to him for ages. He's like a kind of BBC World Service presenter. He's got presence. He's got another series as well, which is Two Managers. So he's got two different managers in the game. Starts at one of the lower leagues, and one of them's got to get to the top just by getting promotion after promotion, staying with the same club, and the other one's got to be ambitious and just get there by hopping from club to club, and it doesn't finish until he's won the Champions League with both of them. So he's got a good series there, and I think he's got his FM20 plan up as well, which looks like a good one too. But he's worth a watch.
I did subscribe.
Yeah,
and I just confirm that I did subscribe.
You didn't need to confirm that.
Oh,
but that's okay. We assumed you did anyway. In fact,
And
I'll go and
I
subscribe.
can confirm also that there is a kebab roll coming.
Good.
Oh, is there?
Well, she
did
said,
anyone- What's in the kebab?
It's going to be just kebab meat, some salad and chips within like the roll.
Oh,
I like the chips inside the roll. It's nice.
that's
Yeah.
weird.
Agreed.
No, I'm
Nah,
joking. That's
nah,
fine.
nah.
That's fine. That's fine. I know.
That's how it needs to be.
I was eliciting a reaction from you lot. Don't worry. I know how to eat my kebabs. I swear. Did you want to, Paul? Did you want to talk about someone that you've been following on the YouTube channels these days?
Yeah, I'm still really enjoying second yellow cards, save with Huesca. I don't know how to pronounce it. I think that's correct. Huesca in Spain.
Yeah.
Really enjoying it. Like it's the same format I was looking at for beta because it gives you such an insight into the game. All the matches are played on camera. A lot of the stuff in between is done on camera, and it's just so much fun. And like Matt is such a good guy, and it's really enjoying it. He's got no subscribers, so I'm fairly sure if we say go and check him out, you already know who he is. But second yellow card is just it's like literally he's up there. He's up there in the community, no doubt about it.
Yeah, I've always liked his content. He's always done, it's always been good quality. It's never been
Already subscribed.
already
Nice.
subscribed. Yep.
See?
I'm now subscribed.
Brilliant.
I don't know what happened to this YouTube account I'm using because nothing seems to have. I've got a load of really weird subscriptions, but none of them are Football Manager ones. So clearly my old one.
Excellent.
My old one got defeated. Guy, have you got anyone that you've been looking at regarding? It doesn't have to be YouTube. It could be,
Well, I've been following a blog all year. The pretty mainstream blog, I should say, was FM Grasshopper's Lorient save.
Yeah.
So I've been following that since the start. But he did something really interesting. I think it was over a week ago now. But he basically simulated. He finished his save, but he simmed the next sort of 5 years after he left the club to sort of see how they get on and sort of how they did, how all the players did. I found that really interesting. It's a different sort of way to go with it, but this guy came in, Roman Bregery, who had basically done nothing in his career, but then he came into Lorient and just did way better than Grass had done.
Oh, really?
Whole season, basically, yeah. So it's quite managed to win a cup as well, which he'd lost 2 cup finals, I think, previous. So, but no, I just thought it was a different post, and something you don't see very often from the sort of generic sort of save update. Oh, this is this season. This is this season, sort of thing. So something a bit different. So I really enjoyed that.
I think that's quite a good way to finish off a lot of long-term saves as well, to kind of see, clubs will carry on after you leave. So, it's quite good to try and, see what happens after you go.
Yeah, definitely.
There was another thing that I talked about. Oh God, I'll try and find it now again because we talked about it before, didn't we? I'll see what Guy thinks because you guys weren't massive fans of it. But there was I think it was from a user called 4chan Scares Me. Is that right? I think that's right.
Yeah.
Hang on,
I remember. Yeah.
So basically, oh no, essentially, I can't find the post, but I remember it was from this character, and he essentially said that he likes looking at people's stories from Football Manager, and would love it if people would. There was like a community-based area where you could upload a save file, so like 10, 15, 20 years into the future, whatever, and you kind of give them the premise of what you've done already, and then set challenges for other people to try and do. So you could turn around and say, oh, say you're, for example, you're Atalanta save, sorry. You could turn around and say, either you could retire or you could leave your manager there and say, look, I've struggled to make the Champions League for 2 years now. I've been trying to turn profit after profit every year. You'd upload the save and say, your challenge is, get promotion or not get promotion, but get the Champions League whilst turning profits every season, or go and take over at Crystal Palace after you left, and then try and do the whole Moneyball thing again, or something slightly different.
Yeah.
And I just thought that was quite an interesting way to kind of keep people interested at this point in the year where there's so much. It's pretty stagnant at this point. I mean, you, Guy, and I have really got back into our Football Manager for the last couple of weeks. I don't really know how, but I've just got back into it. and maybe it's because I'm bored and waiting for university to start again. But I feel like it's quite a nice way for people to maybe give themselves a different challenge because you're in a scenario that you have no idea about what's happened. Like you could have some regions coming through that someone else might not know about, and then something else could happen differently. Do you know what I mean? There's people play different ways, and what do you think about that as an idea?
No, definitely. That sounds quite interesting. I've always liked those kind of challenge saves. I remember trying to, this is going back to like FIFA days, but trying to set up a FIFA save so that I could start from, I think it was when Mourinho was at Chelsea, second time around, and they were like 15th or whatever. And I was like, right, I'm going to take over there, and then I'm going to get them back to Champions League or whatever. So I like replicated the exact results kind of thing to make it. So yeah, like I really like kind of like challenge save type stuff like that. So that would be something that would interest me. And then especially if you were playing with other people, you could sort of look at theirs and go, oh, see that player you've got in your reserves? Yeah, he's playing first team for me, and he scored 25 goals this season or something.
Yeah, it'd be nice to see how the comparison bit. Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah,
sounds a great idea.
Paul, you hated the idea when I brought it up, so he did. I turned around and I was like, oh, what do you think about that, Paul? Would you try that? He goes, no. I was like, oh, yeah. So I gave up.
Busternet does a kind of on his YouTube channel. He saves people's saves. You can send in your save, and he'll try and rescue it if you're in, the crap with it.
Oh shit, that's a great idea for FM20 content. I'm writing that down. That wasn't a joke. I'm genuinely going to steal that idea.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, yeah, you do that. Sure.
Doing it right.
That's going on my idea list.
Oh dear. What else do you reckon we could put on the YouTube channel, Paul? You're an expert in the whole
On whose YouTube channel? Yours?
On our YouTube channel. On Dictate the Game YouTube channel. Anything?
I don't know. I mean, I don't.
YouTube.com/Dictate the Game.
I guarantee that's not what it is because you have to have /C.
It's not. It's got numbers in it.
I don't know. I mean, maybe people who are listening can comment what they would like, or put in the comment on the website if you listen on the website what you would like to see come to the YouTube channel, if anything. Or are you happy with just podcasts because you watch all the other stuff elsewhere?
What he's basically saying is that he doesn't want us to produce content because we'll steal all of his followers.
I mean, you really wouldn't.
No, I know.
But I personally wouldn't make content for the channel because why when I can make it from my own
you
channel?
Shouldn't. That's fine. I'm not expecting you to produce anything.
So I'm not going to get Ryan to do it.
You're not that good anyway, so.
I completely agree. My view count shows that.
No, you got, mate. Your FM 2020 first look, not clickbait, gone sexual, got like 7.2k views. So
yeah, I'm gonna use Factor FM19's dying for my Let's Play series views.
Yeah, smart.
Yeah,
smart.
Thanks.
I like that.
Thanks. Can I go near my kebab now?
All right. We'll wrap this up. Very quickly. How long have we been recording for?
Too long.
It's only been it's been about 45 minutes, guys. Really?
That's too long.
Honestly, guys, we really do enjoy doing the podcast.
It doesn't sound like it. Does it?
How long we've been recording? Too long.
Oh dear. Right. So.
Oh, I love that.
Never mind. That was episode number 20. That was episode number 20, guys. 20.
Technically
21. Oh no, 20. Yeah, okay.
I'm going to put it as 20 and a half. 20.5.
Do 21, and then 20 can be the hidden one that we can
just never release
on April Fool's Day or something.
It's the Easter egg.
I'll keep that one for April Fools. We'll upload that on that day. And it'll just be completely unrelated to anything going on in the world.
Yeah.
It'll just be me, Palom, and Paul just talking about.
On April
Arsenal.
Fools, we should get Luke on and ask him to do like the intro, then halfway through just go psych. And then just cut him off.
That's so mean.
Yeah, we write it down so we don't forget.
Well, it's all right. It'll be in the podcast, so it's fine.
Yeah, we'll still.
He won't listen to it. It'll be fine.
No.
Actually, I think he does. I think he does listen.
He does.
He'll comment if he listens.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. He normally does comment. But, oh well. Right. So moving on. This is episode 20, 20.5, whatever. If you're still hanging around and you're still enjoying this content, then you should probably check out any of our YouTube channels.
I doubt anyone's hanging around right now.
Nah, they are 100%. 100%. So we've got Dictate the Game. That's the channel that you're listening to this on. You've also got Guy, you don't have a YouTube channel, do you?
I do, but there's nothing on there.
Okay, so not
Got a blog
yours.
there.
So
Got a
don't
blog.
bother.
But you've got a blog. What's your blog at? What's your?
WordPress.com/FMVars.
There
Or
you
you
go.
can just go on my Twitter at FM_Vars, and then it's linked on there as well.
Brilliant. And then I've got FM Tahiti. He's got a Twitter. He's got a YouTube channel, which has got some fantastic content on there. There is hundreds and hundreds of episodes of all sorts of stuff. It's absolutely brilliant. Definitely go and check that out. You're doing some stuff in it's in like the Caribbean or
Yeah,
where
that's
is
the
it?
plan. Caribbean and Yorkshire, the two sunniest
And-
places you can do things.
Obviously, it's always sunny in
Very,
Yorkshire.
very similar places. I can confirm.
Yeah, definitely. And then Paul, he's kind of, you probably know who Paul is. He's the Northman. He's also got a Twitter account as well. What's your Twitter account?
TN_the Northman.
Oh, that's boring. Paul, off you go. Go and enjoy your kebab.
I made a pie last week, you know.
Honestly, that's
So-
so out of context. I love it. So we're just gonna leave that, and that's gonna be our
What sort of
close.
pie?
Like beef strips with mushroom.
Hmm.
It's the first time I'd ever made a pie. Turned out really nice.
Was
I'll
it
post a picture in the
now-
chat.
Was it a pie or was it a casserole with a puff pastry lid? Because I fucking
No,
hate
full
ordering
pie.
a pie and you get
Okay.
a casserole with a lid on top. That is
Yeah.
the worst thing ever. No, that's really
I've
impressive. Then.
experienced that shit. I wasn't impressed when I've had that. No, it's proper pie, full like
Pastry all the way around. Very
Yeah,
impressive.
yeah.
Very impressive.
I've posted some pictures.
I will check that out. Is that on your Twitter?
Thanks. No, I posted in the podcast chat
Oh,
on
Right, you are.
Facebook.